What's up, y'all? You tapped into Keeping It Real with Mo, where we take realness to the next level, keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. 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 Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Yeah, you are now listening to Keeping It Real with Mo. Are we taking realness to the next level? Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. You know the vibes. What's up, y'all? You tapped into Keeping It Real with Mo, where we take realness to the next level, keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. 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 Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Yeah, you are now listening to Keeping It Real with Mo. Are we taking realness to the next level? Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. You know the vibes. What's up, y'all? You tapped into Keeping It Real with Mo, where we take realness to the next level, keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. 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 Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Yeah, you are now listening to Keeping It Real with Mo. Are we taking realness to the next level? Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. You know the vibes.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this Monday evening at 7:05. I promise I won't hold everybody long. this wonderful Monday evening. I'm tired, you're tired. We all done worked a long, hard day. So we just gonna get to it. So thank you for tuning in to Keeping It Real with Mo, where I keep it 100% legit. So tonight I have the privilege of interviewing the guru. Y'all know him as Mr. Ty, Big T. I know him as Big T cousin, but I would like to introduce Mr. Ty Cleveland, y'all, host of the world famous Mud Talk podcast. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can
All
hear you
right.
now.
I was muted.
Hey, hey,
Hey. Welcome to the world of live podcasting.
woo, Jesus. Yes. Oh my Lord.
But no, for real, thank you for having me, Mo. I appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out and much respect and kudos to you for being a part of this podcast world. You know, it's always some highs and lows, but I love to see people truly stick it out because it's not easy.
It's
So
not. It's
So,
not.
so I love to see people, staying consistent with it and really just always learning to, how to get better with their show and learning new things because the podcast world is just always changing every day.
Every day. And I learn new stuff every day. I listen,
Yes.
I'll probably be blowing your inbox box up after this. Like, I need some feedback. What about this? What about that?
Listen, I heard your intro and I love it though.
You love the intro? See, that's
Yeah,
something new.
I
I'm
was
I'm
I was
proud of
rocking with
it.
it.
I know. I said this fits me. So I actually reached out to it was Braden's godfather, his cousin did
Okay.
it in Atlanta. I had like four different songs to list choose from. I was like, this one right here. I like it. It's me. So yes, got the new logo, got
Yes.
the music. I'm just over the moon.
I love it. That's dope.
Over the moon.
As you should
So
be. Yes.
let's just go on and get into the nitty gritty here, sir.
All right. What's
I
good?
listen, you already know. Look, tell us about you. Tell us about Mr. Ty, or I should say Ty Cleveland, the one we don't know. Like, how did you get your start in
Yeah.
in podcasting, your background in education?
Mhm.
Just give us some feedback on all of that.
So my name is Ty Cleveland. In the educational world, people know me as either Mr. Tyrone or Mr. Cleveland. Just depends on the day and how I'm feeling. And then in the podcast world, I'm Big T, host of the Apple Charted Mud Talk podcast show. So basically about me, born and raised in Toledo, proud graduate of Maumee High School, class of
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
2007.
Class of '93, baby.
All right.
Yay!
Alumni is in the building.
Yo.
But yeah, graduated from Maumee High School. Before that, I went to Lincoln Elementary for elementary school, then a little bit at Robinson, and then I made it to the Maumee Middle School and went to high school there. Went to college and got my degree in business, entrepreneurship, and management. And people always ask me, like, so you have a degree in business, but how did you get into education? It's crazy because when I first started college, my major was actually education. And I was just like, yeah, like, I don't know about this, not even college, but just like being a teacher. I don't know how I feel about it. So I ended up switching my major to business. And I knew like I wanted to start a program for kids. But I didn't want to be like directly involved in the classroom. At least I thought so. So once I graduated, I actually got an email from a school that used to be here called Imagine Clay. And they were hiring for a receptionist. And I was like, okay, well, that kind of has to do with business. Like, you get to deal with the accountants and the finances and stuff like that. But my whole like first year there, they always found a way to get me in the classroom. Like they were like, hey, we need you to step in and do this, or can you step in and do that? And like in the midst of that, like I just found myself teaching. And one of the principals and deans there, she was like, you really good at this teaching thing. Like, why you don't just do it? And that's like, I don't know. So they the following year, end up having a teaching position available. And I actually took that position and I taught social studies in ELA and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with my kids, just seeing them thrive and thirst for knowledge and education. And so I just ended up just getting my teaching license and certificate, and I just kept this thing going. That same year, I actually started my program called the Impact Program of Toledo, where we deal with kids who are in grades 6th to 8th grade, help them prepare for college and high school. And also just like we have those real conversations where kids may not feel comfortable, talking to their parents about. And so we just kind of put all that together. I put a plan together, and I was like, this program, like, is something special. I saw parents were coming and wanted to see what we're doing, and they were wanting to be involved in the college tours and the conferences and everything we had going on. And so it just grew from there. So this is my 13th year in education of teaching. And it has been a journey. This year is my first year teaching anything lower than 8th grade. So I taught 8th grade for 12 years. This is my first time teaching 4th through 6th grade. And it's a completely different realm than what I'm used to. But I absolutely love it. And people always ask me, like, what's the difference between teaching 8th graders and 4th through 6th graders? I wouldn't even say there's much of a difference. Like, the issues are the same. It's just the way you have to deliver your information is different. So I know how I talk to my 8th graders. I definitely can't talk to my 4th through 6th graders the same way. So I got to kind of be a little bit more gentle with them and whatnot. But outside of all the education, we ended up starting the Mud Talk podcast show. We started that. This is our 4th year. So, 4 years ago, we started this idea. Me and Shay Renee, who's one of the co-hosts on the show, and we actually just had one like live on Facebook one day while we were out at the bar just having drinks and doing whatever. And people were like, yo, like, y'all work really good together. Like, y'all should be a podcast. Like, y'all should do a podcast. And I was like, I don't really know how I feel about that. And she was like, well, we should do it. I mean, and it's COVID, so it wasn't like we had anything else to do. So the next day we like had a meeting, and me and her sat down. It was like, what is the name going to be? How long is it going to be? What is it going to be about? What's going to work? What's not going to work? What is your name going to be? Because you can't go by Mr. Tyrone. And she was like, well, I don't want to go by Shay. So we just came up with like all these different topics and ideas. And once we got that down, like the next week, I reached out to Jesse Coleman, who is over at the 419 Grind. I told him like, hey, we have this really dope idea for a podcast called Mud Talk. And he was like, let's do it. And so like literally like within a week, we were filming our first show. We were super nervous because you have like these cameras and these mics we never experienced before. And then like, there used to be this big clock that was at the 419 Grind that would tell you, like, if your show was 30 minutes, you better be paying attention to the clock, because anything over more than 30 minutes, now you got to start paying. And so we were, we were finding ourselves like crunching in everything within 30 minutes, but it worked for us. And once we left the 419 Grind, we went to Many Faces Podcast Studio, and that's where like Mud Talk really just blew up. We've had people, as far as the Harlem Globetrotters, that came through. We had, Romulus Durant, who's the superintendent of TPS. He came through. We've had Julius Darrington, who is R. Kelly's A&R manager, who's come through. Like, it just took off to something that we never really expected. But I think the good part that we love is that people were not only entertained, but they were getting educated as well too. And that was like the biggest thing that, Shay and I started, is like, we want to be entertaining to people, but we don't want you to think this is just a show where you're being entertained. We want to educate people. And so we do have different topics that we discuss on the show. We have guests on the show. We've been to voting events where we covered the Toledo Council Forum last year. So we're not just, just this podcast that just have all these jokes. Like, we're also educational as well too. So, shout out to Mud Talk and just, everything, big that we're doing right now.
Whoop, whoop. Shout out to Mud Talk, because they are doing it. Y'all got the merch going on.
Yes.
And all of that. Like, I love it. What days does Mud Talk air?
So Mud Talk airs on Fridays at 8 p.m. We do it every other week. You can catch it on YouTube, Facebook, and then we also have the Mud Talk Network that's going to be dropping at the end of this month when we do our first show back. So we'll be going to be doing season 4 this month. And so you'll be able to watch the show whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or the Mud Talk Network, and then it'll air, or you'll be able to stream it the next day on Apple and Spotify, Sirius XM radio, and those streaming devices.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm gonna come back to the podcast talk,
Okay.
but I wanna talk more about the impact program.
Okay.
How
So
how big of a challenge was the starting the impact program, and how did you know if it was going to be successful or not?
Um, starting it wasn't hard. It was really getting the kids to buy into it. Because the first year that I started, I was asking the kids, I actually started at the school that I was working at. And I noticed that like when I was talking to kids about what they wanted to do after 8th grade, they had no idea. They was like, I don't know what high school I want to go to. I don't know what college I want to go to. I don't even know what I want to do. I don't even know what I want to do tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So they really just didn't have any idea or like just any guidance to help them figure out like what's their goals, what's their dreams, and what they want to do. But then in the midst of that, I found that a lot of our kids were um they were learning through life experiences, and they weren't good experiences. So things such as not, partaking in drugs and alcohol, they were already doing that and found out like, I didn't like it because I already did it. And so I was just like, yeah, this is kind of like a problem, and I just feel like I need to do something. And so when we had our very first session, I just remember the kids like just being so open, but also breaking down because they had no idea that like, oh my God, like I've been bullying you and not liking you and not knowing that we're actually in the same boat, or just hearing them share their stories to each other and not even knowing each other. That was like the real life first experience where they kind of looked around and was like, okay, like we need to like chill out and love on each other more. I did get some pushback from the school that I worked at, because they felt like that we shouldn't be having these kind of conversations with kids about like drugs and alcohol and teen pregnancy and domestic violence and self-esteem. They felt like that shouldn't be happening on school grounds. They felt like that should be happening at home. And I pushed back on that and told them like, by the time they get home and have this discussion, it's too late. And so we have to be the step in between that. So they know like when they leave here, they don't have to learn through life experiences. There are tools you can use to get through these situations. And so when the parents started to come in and really support the program, that's when the schools started to become more involved and wanted to support it more, financially, and kind of giving us like some financial backing. But the whole first year, my school that I was at, they did not support the impact program at all. I remember we had a tour set for the University of Toledo for a college tour, and the school did not approve the busing. Like they were just like, no, like we're not approving that. You guys need to find your own transportation. But I had supportive parents, and they actually all carpooled, and we just brought all the kids in our cars to the University of Toledo. And so once the school kind of saw that I was just going to make it happen no matter what, that's like the next year they were like, hey, like, how can we support impact? We would love for you to do impact lessons in the classroom and go to different classrooms and do these lessons, and let's do parent nights and do this and do that. And once I left there, they kind of was just like, they were upset that I took the program with me. But that particular school and myself, like we didn't end on good terms. And so I was just like, yeah, like, if your kids want to come to this program, they just got to come with me to this other school that I was going to. And I realized that that wasn't fair. And so I ended up opening up the program the following year to any kid that was in Toledo, because my kids from the previous school wanted to come, but then they were telling their friends who didn't even go to the school about like, hey, we got this impact program, and we talk about this, we do this, they be having snacks, they feed us, we go on trips and do this and do that. And I just realized like, I can't tell a kid no who wants to be part of a positive program. And so, but yeah, starting it, like I said, the first year, it was tough. It was just tough, like just from the standpoint of school just not being supportive. And that was just something just new. And I didn't expect that. You would think a school would want to support something positive, but
Right.
yeah,
And back you.
yeah, and back us up. So that just kind of threw me for a loop. And then I was more so also scared at the same time. Like, if I just do this without their approval, will I lose my job? This is my first teaching job. I don't want to be known as like a troublemaker or rebel. But once I saw like how the kids were responding to it and how much the program meant to them, I was willing to lose my job for my program. You know, if they were going to say, hey, Mr. Cleveland, you did something that was not approved, that's perfectly fine. I'll lose my job, but at the end of the day, I'm still the director of my program. This is something you can't take from me.
Right.
So yeah, it was just tough from that standpoint of the school not being supportive.
And as a parent, and as a parent that completed their first year in Impact, y'all, it's
Mhm.
amazing.
Thank you.
I actually love the program. Brayden loves it. I mean, you know, you guys are good and tough on them, and that's, you know, that's what these kids need, like an
Yeah,
outlet to go to and do their work and have fun and experience all these different tours and trips that, you know, they're going on. And he's actually excited. He asked the other day, when are we starting? When am I starting? I'm like, end of the month. I will let you know. Okay, just chill out. Just chill out. But
yeah,
it's a very good program. So parents, if you haven't, you know, signed up, I think it's too late, right?
yeah. So we just ended registration actually on August 31st. So our cap is 25, and we actually have 23 students this year.
How many returning?
Out of the returning, there's a total of, I want to say maybe 8 or 9, and then we have like the rest of that is all brand new.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of the returning students, they're a little bit older now, so they're like in high school, so
Mm-hmm.
they're wanting to, you know, get jobs and get their license and do things like that. But then a lot of the new students that are coming, they found out just from word of mouth, and then, you know, I also did an interview with WTOL over the summer about the Impact program, so that helped a lot. But yeah, we have 23 students that are coming with us this year.
Wow. It's a great program, you parents. So if you missed signing up this year, there's always next
Yes,
year.
always next year, and
And get in now because we filling those spots. I was like, let me get my returning spot back.
listen,
Shit.
I always go after my returning babies first. I'm like, look, I need
Right.
y'all to come back.
I was like, we coming back. So we gotta clear this schedule and see what's going on and get with it. But
Yes,
I'm glad that you decided to do something like this for the kids. They absolutely love it. I call the Douglas Center our second home because I'm
mhm,
probably here 3 days a week,
yeah,
more than anybody.
yeah,
But hey, it is what it is, and as long as it keeps him out the streets and out of trouble, that's all I can ask.
yes. And shout out to the Frederick Douglass Center who has been our home for the last few years. So I'm super thankful that they have allowed Impact to just be up under their umbrella. And they're so supportive of the Impact program and our kids. They're always inviting them to the different, you know, informational workshops and things they have going on at the Doug. So and that's always a nice break, you know, for the kids too, because they're not just working on homework. They get to do different things. They let them go to the gym and the game room. So it's like really like just a all around wraparound service. So that's why like
Hmm.
I truly love us being at the Doug, and plus they're in the community. I think when Impact was inside of schools, when we had a school home base, our kids felt so secluded, like they felt like they were in the community, but they weren't part of the community. And so now having a program that's with other programs that's having at the same time youth programs, that means a lot to them. But when we used to be inside of schools, like they used to feel like they were just on this island because there were no other kids, you know, at the same time that school was happening. And so being inside of the Frederick Douglass Center, they really enjoy just going to the gym and playing basketball with other kids or going to the game room and meeting other kids that are not in the program, kids that are in programs inside the building. They just love being around other kids and not feeling like, oh, we're just in our own little bubble and, you know, we don't really know anybody. And that was something that I wanted my kids to break away from, because when we used to be inside schools and we were like by ourselves, my kids were extremely bougie. Like they were like, what's that movie Mean Girls, like you can't sit with us, like they
Hmm.
like they were like, we are the Impact program, we don't do those kind of things, like. And I was like I had to like so many times like cut into them, like just because we have our own little spot foundation, we want to call it, doesn't mean you get to treat people like that. But ever since we
Right.
moved to the Doug and they're around other community kids, now they feel like they're a part of community and not just like, oh yeah, we're better than other people and we have these Impact shirts and we get to eat this and that's why y'all eating that and we get to go on these tours and y'all don't. Like we had to nip that in the butt real quick because I don't play that.
Oh yes. And we know this. And we know
Yeah,
this.
I don't play that, acting like you better than somebody people. Like I don't play that, especially with kids. So yeah, we had to get that under control ASAP.
Absolutely. Well, you are a blessing to the education community and to the kids, and they absolutely love Mr. Ty.
Thank you so
So
much.
I appreciate you and thank you for that part as far as the impact and opening these kids' eyes to bigger and brighter things for their future. Now
Thank
let's
you.
talk
Thank you.
about
Thank you.
this business podcast
Woo.
going on. Whew.
Let's
Whew.
talk about Buzz
Listen,
Talk.
I don't know about you, but my biggest challenges and
Mhm.
pitfalls with start trying to start a podcast was where am I gonna do it? How
Mhm.
am I gonna do it? And what am I gonna talk about?
Yes.
Because like when I started mine, it was like a hobby
Mhm.
and it was pretty much on accident.
Mhm.
Like I did Facebook lives
Yeah.
and I actually had a family member that was like, why don't you start a podcast? You always on Facebook Live and da 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 da. And I was like, what am I gonna talk about on a podcast? And how long am I gonna have a podcast? And what I mean, like what am I well, talk about the same things you talk about on Facebook Live. No, it's totally different. And I'm
Right.
like, well, okay. So I tried it out and I mean I went through different name changes. I mean, I went through everything. I had a list of names like, okay, what am I gonna call this? And I done went through two different name changes. I can't even tell you what the first name was because I don't even know. But I mean, when I finally started it, I was researching and listening to other people, and I was like, well,
uh,
they got a mic and they got computer screens, and I'm like, well, I just have a phone, so
yeah.
how am I gonna work this? So yeah, I I did it. I started with my phone. I've been doing it like that, or my laptop. I
Mhm.
started out on Podbean. Um, it was an okay app. I liked it, but I couldn't really do as much like I wanted. I was very limited.
Yeah.
So, of course, as you know, I reached out to you. Help me, help me, help me. So, you put me on to this wonderful StreamYard app.
Yes, I love
And
StreamYard.
oh my God, when I literally signed up and so I was like, oh, I can do this and I can do this. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this StreamYard and see how it works. And I mean, for season four, it's been a blessing and a wonder
Yes,
to me. And thank you for introducing me to the StreamYard app.
you
But
are
the
so welcome.
challenges, oh my gosh, it's like
Yeah.
I can't even tell you where to be. I don't even know where to begin. Like,
Yeah.
what were your biggest challenges?
Um, I think one of our biggest challenges was is when we were at the 419 grind, we only had 30 minutes. And we were like, how do we pace this out? Like, what do we talk about? What do we add? What do we take out? Um, and we felt like we were rushing our guests when they would come onto the show, like we were trying to hurry up and get through it. So that was like the first kind of like little trial and error, tribulation, whatever you want to call it. Like that was that. But I think once we moved to a new studio and it expanded to a 2 hour show, like, yeah, we had more room to do more stuff, but now it's like, now we really got to fill up this 2 hour gap of stuff. And so it was really just like sitting down and just planning stuff out and pacing it out. That was the first one. And the second one was really like, how do we get this out there? How do we get people to tune in? How do we get them to watch? How do we get them to listen? Because when podcasts, first started, a lot of people, and maybe some to this day, a lot of people didn't even know how to get to it. Like, what's a podcast? How do I listen to it? What is it? I don't know what this
Mm-hmm.
is. So really,
Yep.
like, really just educating people. Like, you have a podcast app on your phone, and you can go on YouTube and watch, and you can go on Facebook. So it really was just like really just promoting it and making sure that people were tuning in. And the biggest one, like you said earlier, was consistency. We knew from the jump that doing a podcast every week is just not something that we can do. We don't have that much time on our hands. So it was being consistent with it every 2 weeks. Really just because, we're all adults and, people have kids and other jobs and things going on. So really, it was like really sitting down and having that conversation with our team and saying, hey, if we're going to do this, then we need to do it for real, and we need to be consistent with it. Because when you do a podcast every 2 weeks, people kind of forget about you if you're not consistent. And so, we had to make sure that even when we don't have shows, we're constantly putting out clips, we're putting out, marketing stuff, we're putting out merch stuff. Like, we wanted to be in your face even when it's not in your face. So but consistency was like another big thing. Like I said, that it really was something that we had to sit down and really be like, if we gonna take this seriously, like, we need to do this for real. And I know, like you said, for some people, podcasting is a hobby, but for others, it's a full-fledged business, and it's something that people are trying to do, or they do it, for real. And so when we finally sat down and decided, like, hey, we're gonna do this thing for real, then that means we need to be all in 100%. And so we ended up going from just me and Shay Renee to now we have Mud Talk's favorite white girl, Miss Amy, who does our.
I love her. Shout out to Miss Amy. What's up, Miss Amy?
Shout out to Miss Amy. She does our segment called Ask the White Girl, where people send in questions about white people and she answered them. And then we added our other co-host, CL Styles. He came in December. He actually started off as a guest on our show in October and came back again. We did a Hot Topics episode. And he did really well. And people were like, y'all need to keep him. Like, he fits perfect. And so we did another episode with him, and we was like, hey, yo, like, you want to be part of this Mud Talk thing? And he was like, you know what? I really was waiting for y'all to ask me back in October when I first came on. And so so we was like, dude, like, you should have been saying something. But we ended up putting him in on the show in January. And now we have this complete show, this complete crew. And we all realized that, we all have something amazing to bring to the table. And we all try to help each other out. So if one person can't make the flyer this week, somebody else would jump in. If one person can't handle any merch orders this week, somebody else would jump in. If one person can't do the audio and cameras this week, somebody else would jump in. So just having like that teamwork really, really helps out a lot. But yeah, pacing and consistency was like the two things. I was like, every 2 weeks, like, I think I can do it. If we're going to do it for real, I'm going to do it for real. And then it was just the pacing of the show. Like, you don't want to feel rushed, but then, like, you don't want to have a show that's too long to where your audience is going to tune out and they don't want to listen to it. So.
Right. And that's where, my struggle was, like, I don't want to be too short. I don't want to be too long. And I mean, I've had, episodes where I've, gone an hour only because, the topic was that good that, I look up and like, oh my God, it's been an hour. Like, I gotta wrap this up. But I mean, you can't rush something if it's that good. But then again, you gotta, be respectful of people's time, what they got going on, a lot of us work. And I mean, I get it. Like, I've changed my days too. I'm going bi-weekly because my schedule is yes.
I get it.
But it's crazy. So like, what is a decent time frame to do a podcast? Because some people I've listened have been 30 minutes. Some people are an hour. What's the difference? What's the time frame? What's a good time frame?
I honestly think it's just whatever the niche of your podcast is. I feel like that's how that goes. Some people, like you said, they do, if it's just them just talking, some people may just do a 30-minute podcast. If you have a guest or things like that, you may want to go an hour. I think with our show, we usually do an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that's because we have different segments. They're entertaining. But we also have guests on our show. So we try to keep it to 2 hours. But I feel like if it's just you, then 30 minutes is fine. But if you have like a guest or something like that, definitely maybe like an hour and a half. Like I said, we do 2 hour shows, and sometimes those 2 hour shows, I'm like literally looking at the clock, like, all right, y'all, we got to wrap this up. We hitting that 2 hour mark. But we've made some changes too, because like you said, like people have jobs and work schedules and things like that. So they don't want to just sit around and just watch a podcast all day. So we're definitely going into season 4. We are making some changes to where we're going to try to scale back to an hour and a half. But I think, like I said, if it's just you, I think 30 minutes is good. Just because doing a podcast by yourself is tough. when you don't have a co-host
I
to bounce,
know.
to have a co-host to bounce off of and drive conversation and ideas. So I feel like that is personally tough unless, you have like people who are leaving comments and things like that. But I feel like if you have like a co-host and things of that nature, I would say like an hour and a half is probably a good figure, for a podcast.
Okay, that sounds that sounds decent to me. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as a co-host, y'all don't know what might happen next season. Come January, you never know.
Oh, you getting a
Y'all
co-host?
might see me up here with another person. You
Okay.
never know. Y'all hear
Okay.
another voice and it's not me. Like, what she do now? Let's just say I'm warning y'all ahead of time, okay? I'm warning you ahead of time.
I love
So
it.
if somebody wanted to start a podcast, what
Mhm.
advice would you give them? What steps would you tell them to take?
I would say do the research first. People think that when it comes to a podcast, is you just downloading the app, recording yourself, and putting it out there. Um, it's not. It's completely different. It is definitely a production because you have to remind yourself that you are the brand, and so you are the person who's in charge of the audio. You're in charge of your cameras. You're in charge of your mics. You're in charge of uploading episodes. You are in charge of marketing, so putting the flyer out there. Like it's a whole entire production. And I think when people think of podcasts, they just think that, oh, I'm just gonna get on my phone and talk. And that's not how that works because you got to have something to talk about.
Right.
So people like we get emails and inboxes all the time on Mud Talk, and it's like, hey, I'm trying to come to your podcast. All right, which one to talk about? Shoot, whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm like, that's not how that works. And so just having something to talk about and do your research is not you just picking up your phone and doing an episode. The other thing I would say is that you don't need to have any fancy equipment to start a podcast. People feel like they have to go all out first and buy a mic and this expensive camera and this soundboard. They have so many apps now to where you can just plug in your headphones, invite somebody to your stream and record. You know what I'm saying? And so if it's not in your budget to get the expensive equipment or to get the starter equipment, then just use your phone and some headphones, and that will get you through until you can build up some funds to fund your podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the third thing I would say is don't be afraid to collaborate with other podcasts, especially podcasts that may have been around a little bit longer than you. And so I know like when we started our podcast, almost 4 years ago, there were not a lot of podcasts around. And so now that we've gone through this journey, we've linked up with the Drunk Unks podcast a few times, and because they're a sports-based, podcast. So we've done like crossover episodes with them and done some other planning for other events. There's also the Black Room podcast that's here in Toledo as well. I know him. His name is Jay Rafer. He's the fam. So him and I have been talking about doing some things together. It's just easier to collaborate versus being separate, because when you do things separately, it's more work. And when you collaborate, they may teach you things that you didn't know before or help you with things that you didn't have help with before. So really just collaborating, has really helped a lot. And the last thing I would say is have fun. Like if you don't have fun with your podcast, then I don't know why you're doing it.
That's right.
And that's just being real, if you're not gonna have fun with it, then I don't know why you're doing it. It is work, and that's what I want people to remember. Yes, when you are done with this episode, you may have to go and do post-production and edit some stuff out and make clips and tell people to listen to it. So it is a lot of work, behind the scenes. But when you are, in front of this camera, have fun, enjoy it, laugh. Research other podcasts, and see what their format kind of is and what you can be inspired about. But yeah, if you're not gonna have fun with this thing, man, then don't do it. Because like I said, we've been doing this 4 years, and if I wasn't having fun with this, I would not be doing it. Trust me. Because we ain't getting rich off this thing right now. So
Right. It is not for the weak, as I
is,
say.
yeah, it is. It's
It
not.
is
It's
not
not
for
at
the
all.
weak.
It's not at all. But we definitely, we are always sitting down and coming up with ideas. Mud Talk, we have a Mud Talk group chat, and we're always texting ideas. We're always like, hey, can you do this week? Because I'm busy. Flyers, clips. I'm surprised that my phone hasn't gone off today in the group chat. So I'm actually very surprised that I get a text from it today. But yeah, just like I said, do the research. Don't feel like you need any fancy equipment. Collaborate with other people and have fun. Like, if you're not having fun with it, then I don't know why you're doing it.
I agree 100% because laughter is the best medicine. If you can't laugh at yourself, then hey, I don't know what to tell you.
No, for real. And also just be patient, because your first, season may not be the best season. Because I go back and listen to our first season, sometimes even second season, and I'm like, the growth is crazy.
Yeah.
The growth is so crazy. I remember going back and just looking at episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, I was nervous. I was saying stuff. I was stuttering. I wasn't even talking to the mic. Our camera angle was crazy. The lighting was messed up. We looked like we was filming in the back of somebody's trailer. Like, it was like, when I go back and watch it or even listen to it, there's so many things. I'm like, wow, like, Mud Talk has come a long way. So just be patient with yourself. Like, like you said, you got to laugh at yourself. Them first few episodes, you're going to mess up. You're going to have to laugh at yourself. But just know, like, with that comes the growth, and your audience is going to notice the growth too, because, they'll say like, man, like, your mic sounds so much better, or like your camera looks better, or just, I like this episode. I like this segment. I didn't like it, so just know, like, you just have to be willing to laugh at yourself, but also just know that comes with growth too.
And I have learned that.
Yeah.
Lessons learned and still learning. I love it. And it's like, if you don't like what you do, then maybe it's just not for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah. And if you're not going to be consistent with it too, like, just know, like, it's not for you either, because I was talking with somebody, so I was doing work for the Gospel in the Green event. I was doing some filming for them. And, the guy that was filming, Jesse, he was like, man, he's like, the one thing that I really love about Mud Talk is, like, you guys stay consistent. He's like, I hate getting invested in the podcast, like watching them and listening to them, and then like 6 episodes in, you don't hear from them again. And I'm like, yeah, that's because people think podcasts is you just put this mic into your computer and you just start talking on it, but not realizing, like, there's a whole entire process after you cut the camera off and turn your mics off. And so, you just really have to stay consistent and really just have to carve out that time if you're going to do a podcast, and be honest and say, can I commit every week or every 2 weeks or every month or, every other day, whatever it is that you want to do, and make sure, like, it's a time frame that you can be realistic about. So if you know that you can only do a podcast once a month for 30 minutes, then that's what you're going to do. But let your audience know that. If you know that you're going to do a podcast every 2 weeks for an hour, let your audience know, like, hey, this is going to be bi-weekly. But don't commit to something that you know that you're not going to follow through with.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Follow through. Consistency and following through is the key.
Absolutely.
Well, we are almost at the end, and before we wrap this up, I want to do something fun.
Oh, I love me some fun.
So, I know you do.
I love me some fun.
We gonna play a little fact game here.
Okay.
Tell us 5 fun facts that we do not know about you.
Oh my gosh.
It should not be that hard.
Man, let me see. Oh, well, this year my birthday is on Thanksgiving. So that's it ain't no woo woo.
Why not? I mean, you get your turkey and the birthday cake and all that other stuff.
No, so usually when my birthday is on Thanksgiving, people are more concerned about the turkey rather than my birthday. Yeah, but it happens every 4 years though. So every time there's an election year, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. So yeah, so I usually celebrate my birthday either the day after or like the day before. What else? Outside of margaritas, my favorite drink. I love me a good marg, but if we're talking about non-alcoholic, my favorite drink is actually orange juice. My kids at school, they know when I have not had my orange juice because it usually takes me to about 10:30 to put a smile on my face. But orange
Pulp
juice
or no pulp?
No pulp.
Okay.
No pulp. Yeah, I can't do pulp. I'm not doing that. But definitely no pulp orange juice. So that is my go-to drink outside of the margaritas. Fact number 3. I really like to hustle, like doing the outside of the Tamiya. But like I really like I'm the uncle at the family reunion who loves to do a good hustle.
With the drink in his hand.
With the drink in my hand.
I'm weak.
I'm not gonna spill it. But I love me a good hustle, man. Like Janet Jackson hustle, like the biker shuffle, or just any of the hustles. Like I love a good hustle. So that's me. Like all summer, that's me. What else? Fact number 4. I took my first real vacation actually 2 years ago. Like my first time, like on a plane vacation.
What?
Before that, I have never been on a plane before. And I went to Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
What airline? Don't say Spirit.
It was Spirit. It was Spirit. It was my first time flying. I mean, that probably was like a bad airline to choose for my first time. I probably should have chose.
Okay, I'll let you slide with that. I mean, if you had the big comfy seat, you good. But yeah, Delta, yeah.
But here's my thing though. After I flew that first time, I was like, okay, now we got to upgrade to Delta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this was like still like when they had like the COVID prices and it was like 8 people on your plane. So I was like, all right, cool.
Oh,
like, yeah. So it was like, all right, cool. Like, let's just get on this Spirit flight. But that was like my real first like vacation. Everything else I've ever done has always been like a road trip. But if it's more than like 2 hours, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm getting on a flight. People are like, let's drive to Chicago. No, I'm catching a flight to Chicago.
Wow.
I'm not driving. If it's like more than 2 hours, like past Cleveland, we're catching a flight. Like I'm just not a car person to sit in a car for hours and hours and hours and be like, all right, we go on the trip. No, I'm not doing that. My last tip. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Like I'm a wrestling nerd, actually.
Yes, Raw comes on in like 10 minutes.
Like in 10 minutes, like no lie.
Like in 10 minutes. So yeah, yes. I already know. We're gonna be off of here within the next 5. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't play that either. I don't play that.
Like I need to see the intro, the fireworks, and everything.
I heard that.
Yes.
Like so now y'all know y'all's 5 facts about Mr. Cleveland. Orange juice and a good margarita, and he's good to go.
I'm good to go, and I'm probably watching wrestling while I'm having my margarita.
Wow, I could deal with though. I could deal with and the hustle.
Yes, and a good hustle. I love a good hustle.
Well, you could teach me the Janet Jackson one.
Have you learned the Tamiya yet?
Yes, I know the Tamiya.
Okay, I didn't know if you was one of those people who like. Show me the Tamiya. You've had 25 years to learn the Tamiya.
Not 25 years.
You've had at least
not 25 years.
Okay, I'm gonna say at least a decade. Like if you have not learned the Tamiya yet, you've had at least 10 years to learn it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people struggling with the Tamiya one.
And
just get me Janet Jackson and get me through all them turns, and I'm good to go.
I can get you through that. I just me personally, I just don't understand what is the struggle with the Tamiya hustle. That's why when people are like, I don't understand it, I'm like, what don't you understand?
Yeah, it's too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy for me.
Last but not least, so us wrestling fans can get to this Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Tell us, where can we find Mud Talk on social media, and where can we find you at on social media?
All right, so for Mud Talk, you can find us on Facebook at Mud Talk Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Mud Talk 419. Also on TikTok, Mud Talk 419. Then on YouTube, it is Mud Talk Podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're always posting content, whether it's clips. We have a segment that we do called Cup Check, where we go and visit different bars and restaurants and try their top drinks and get them ratings and stuff like that. And then, of course,
I'm gonna need in on that one. I'm gonna need in on that one. I'm gonna need to weigh in on that one.
You gonna do a cup check?
Give me a red cup.
I got
I'll
you.
bring my own, okay? I'll bring my own.
We gonna put a Keeping It Real with Mo logo on the cup too.
Yes, I love it. Make sure it's in purple. Make
Yep.
sure it's in purple. Y'all see the love. Y'all see the love.
Yes. Yep. So you can catch us on all social medias. And then also as far as me, you can catch me with it's Ty Cleveland on Facebook. And then on IG, it is Mr. Mud Talk 419. And then, of course, if you want to learn more information about the Impact Program, because we are looking for sponsors this upcoming programming season. If you would like to sponsor a kid, you can go and find us on Facebook at the Impact Program of Toledo.
All right, y'all heard it first here on Keeping It Real with Mo.
Hey.
I just want to say thank you so much. Look, Podcast Godfather. Podcast Godfather. So, yep, you already know I'm going to be blowing your messenger up. And please don't forget me Sunday.
No,
that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to blow your inbox up. Like, please don't forget me Sunday.
So, well, you know it's going to be right after, services.
Oh, so. Of course. Got to get to Jesus song first.
Jesus got to be first. Amen. Praise him.
Gotta be first. then the other stuff. So
yes, but I told you, don't wear that standard stuff though.
I'm gonna wear it, of course. And it's game day. Game day. I'm gonna wear it, and I don't even want to know who your team is. Well, as long as it ain't them Cowgirls.
It's not, but we got our butts kicked by them Cowgirls yesterday.
Oh, the Brownies. That's right. Browns, he's a Browns fan, y'all. So if y'all into trash talking this season, please clown him. Because y'all already know how I roll. I'm a clown. I'm a trash talk. I've been waiting all season for football. I'm ready. We won yesterday, so we want to know. Yep, it be your own people.
Who did y'all play yesterday?
Team, but it's okay. We played the Falcons.
Oh, that's easy.
18-10. Your buddy over here says the Chiefs are better because he's a Patrick Mahomes fan. He's such a bandwagoner.
So that means he listened to Taylor Swift too.
He gave me this look like, what? The look that I'm getting right now, literally.
Hey, it's called Keeping It Real, so we keeping it real.
Yeah, we are keeping it real. I can't say fix your face because you already know what the face looks like.
I already know.
Literally. So,
I know what it is.
Right. But all right, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much because I know you got to get your orange juice and get comfy. And I need to get comfy. I might miss the intro, but I'm gonna definitely be there and watch the rest of Raw. So,
all right.
Y'all heard it here first. Mud Talk host, Mr. Cleveland in the house. Thank you so much again for joining. And next time I might have to have either the whole cast or Miss Amy.
Hey, you should. You should.
Maybe. That's a thought. I'm gonna have to think on that.
I will let her know that she might be a guest soon.
Oh, let her know real soon. I'm not sure how soon, but let her know. That'd be great.
I would definitely let her know.
Exactly. Thank you again. Get your orange juice. And you guys, if you haven't listened, please check out Mud Talk Podcast on Fridays. And we'll chop it up later, man. Thank you again.
Right. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
What's up, y'all? You tapped into Keeping It Real with Mo. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. Keeping it 100% legit. Let's go. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. 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 Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next level. Keeping it 100% legit. We take realness to the next next level. We take realness to the next level. Keep it 100% legit. Keep it 100% legit. Keep it 100% legit. Yeah, you are now listening to Keeping It Real with Mo. Are we taking realness to the next level? Keeping it nothing but 100% legit. You know the vibes.